Benjamin,
And I'm Amanda.
and this is Seasoned Readings. And
All
we are
right.
going to get right back on it,
Yes.
where we left off. Like
Yes.
it was like no time has passed
Well, no
whatsoever.
time will have passed for them.
Yeah, hopefully you guys are listening to this and you're like, I don't know what they're talking about. It was
What they're
yesterday I
talking
listened to the
about.
last one. So,
Right? Yeah.
uh,
That
for
would be the
us,
ideal.
for us, it has been several sicknesses later.
Oh, it's been a rough winter. That is,
My entire family was wiped. I know we kind of mentioned this already, but we were wiped out, like
yeah.
done for. Like man, it was rough. One after the other, falling like dominoes, and
Yeah, the flu raged through your household.
it did, and it still got a hold of me. I was on antibiotics and steroids for a while. It
Yeah, because
was sucked.
you went from flu to sinus infection.
Yeah, they were worried about, because of my asthma. They were like, yeah, you might have some pretty bad infections, so they loaded me up
Yeah,
with some
yeah.
drugs. Yeah, which
Right.
was
And then I was on vacation.
excuse me. And then you're on vacation, which sounded really
Yep.
cool.
It was a good time. A lot of really late nights,
Yeah.
and very early mornings.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, those are rough.
I
Those
don't
are
think
rough.
I saw bed before 2 a.m. most nights. Um,
Working, or were you other stuff?
Partying.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Like, so we would get up in the morning and have to, like, breakfast would start at like 8. So we were
Mhm.
downstairs ready to do make sure, like, finish troubleshooting tech stuff by 7:30, 7:45. Breakfast starts at 8, presentations start at 8:30. It's a full 8, 9 hour day, break for dinner, and then usually there were evening activities,
You gotta show up. You
which
gotta
we
do your
had to
thing.
show up and,
Yeah.
like, run photo booth for and, like, do things. So, like, because, like, the first night was just a mixer, and because Kyle still works in that industry and I am adjacent to that industry, we want to be at the mixer, we want to talk to
Sure.
people.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Next night was a secret concert for the attendees. Um, it was, I don't know if you know the prize fight Inferno.
No.
Do you know Coheed and Cambria?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Claudio's side project.
Oh, that's cool.
So he did a little acoustic set
That's
for us.
neat.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
with an open bar. And so that was like at 9 o'clock Thursday night. And then we had charity auction Saturday night.
Man, that is busy.
So yeah, it was just like go. And then most of the time you would do those events and people didn't just go to bed. We would go and continue drinking and mingling in the hospitality suite.
All right.
So it's just like 2 a.m.
2
and then
a.m. It
be up
comes
at 6.
two comes pretty early. Six comes even earlier. Yeah.
hmm hmm
Whoa.
Yeah. But it was a good time, except
Yeah.
for when I got struck down with illness a
Were you
week.
there when you? Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, thankfully I was not one who fell victim to COVID. So
Oh, yeah.
there were quite a few
Yeah, that's going
that
around too.
yeah, that came out of there with COVID. I did not, thankfully, just some really nasty cold that laid me
Mm.
up for a few days. So
Yeah,
yeah, so here
that
we are.
sucks. Yeah, but we've made it.
Mhm.
We did it.
We
We
survived.
survived. Yes,
We're both at not 100%.
correct.
There
I
will
still have a cough.
probably, yeah, there'll probably be a little coughing. So we do apologize to the headphone users. We'll try to, like, mute ourselves and, like,
I
step
should.
away when we're having those moments. All right.
Yeah. Oh
So
wait,
where did
I
we leave off?
before
Oh,
we continue, I have an update.
you have an update.
I have a gray sweatpants update.
Oh, oh no, I forgot we had this great sweatpants conversation.
So like I put them on the other day and I'm like, these things are too tight. Something is up. So I literally I'm checking the tag on them. I'm like, okay, like this the same size as my other
Right.
pair of pants. Or the pair of pants identical, same size. I'm like,
Mhm.
what the how is this possible?
Why are these the ones? Yeah.
I have a thought.
Okay.
I was putting my phone in the pockets the other day in my gray
hmm
sweatpants. Didn't fit.
Oh.
It didn't fit. But in my other pants, it does.
So is it a pocket issue?
It's not a pocket issue. I think it's a gender issue. I think they're women's pants. I think
Oh.
I'm wearing women's pants.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
It
Answer
doesn't make any
the,
sense. Well, but women's, and here's my reasoning. I've worn women's pants before. It's a long story.
I mean, pants
It's
aren't
whatever.
gendered. It's fine.
Okay, yes, but there's like the sizes are different for men and women. But
Yes.
so like this, a small in men's is different than a small in women's.
Right.
Anyway, but the pockets, women's pockets, they're like non-existent. I don't know how you ladies deal with it. Nothing fits in there.
Or
Nothing goes in there. It's
no.
terrible. They make no sense. Put some designers put some damn pockets into women's pants, please. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
Every garment that goes on the lower half of my body, so dress, skirt, leggings, pants,
just
should have pockets that can actually hold things.
anything. Like it's like a half pocket. It's like teasing the fact that there could something could go in there, but then you like try and fit it in. It's just like flying out whimsically. Anyway, so I put my phone in there. It doesn't like fit in all the way. And I'm like, these remind me of women's pants. It's like there's such small pockets. Of course, I can't find anything on there that denotes women or men's, and they look
Right.
identical to the other ones. And
Mm-hmm.
generally speaking, like they'll have some differences between women's and men's pants, but I don't know. That's a theory.
I mean,
It's
and
a
they could
working
be like,
theory.
and they could fall into that like unisex,
It's true.
like
Like
sweatpants, and that so, and therefore it does come down to like color or fabric on whether they fit a little tighter or fit a little looser.
it could be. It could be.
But this
I,
this
it's a
answers your sweatpant issue. It does not
it's
address
a
why
V.
gray sweatpants
Oh,
universally.
okay. That's true. I mean, I do think there might be some kind of conspiracy where like someone's out there like let's make it a little bit tighter for the guys or something like that, or for the women, or I don't know for whoever really. Let's be
For
honest.
whoever,
Yeah, yeah.
for the world,
For everyone, for the
for
love of
everybody.
tight pants. Anyway, that's it's just a little update that I had this epiphany like maybe there's something
We
else
were.
going on here. Maybe
It's funny.
there's
We
of
actually were talking about it last night at bowling,
course
as
hot
one
topic.
does.
Gray
Great for
sweatpants.
Well, because we finally cracked the one guy who like runs the leagues and stuff. Like he's the one who's always up there checking people in, doing shoes. Like we
Mm.
had, and then he also comes around and will sell 50-50. And
Oh,
like
okay.
we've tried talking to him, but we hadn't gotten very far. We finally got his name and would just yell at him.
Is he? I mean, like, is he like kind of good looking,
I
or
mean,
is
he's
it?
not a bad looking guy,
Sure, sure.
like at all. He's more attractive because he has seems to have like a really good sense of humor.
Okay, cool. There you go.
Because
Yeah.
we're like, we have done this for 16 weeks and you have never sold us a winning 50-50 ticket.
Come on, man.
And we're like, Dan, you are have the power to stack the bucket.
Wait, what's his name? What's his
Dan,
name? Okay.
Dan.
Come on, Dan.
So
That's
we would.
just
We'd just be like, Dan,
that's great because my father-in-law's name is also Dan, and I definitely do the same. It's definitely Dan. Come on, Dan.
Dan,
Come on, Dan. It's a
Dan
very
the man. Let's
it's
go.
it's a very sayable name. It's a very sayable name.
It really, and it is very, it's a name that you can definitely like have fun with in how
Hmm.
you say it.
Yeah.
Like
Dan.
I immediately go,
Dan.
right, Dan,
Dan.
Dan. And then I think of like
Dan.
Mrs. Doubtfire, Danny.
I don't remember that part, but we were just talking about Mrs. Doubtfire the other day. But we gotta show this to the kids, and I'm like,
It's a little,
it's a little
it's a little
racy.
raunchier, yeah, than
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
realized. Yeah. Hmm.
Anyway, good movie, but yes, continue.
But it's that same kind of thing. You can say his name. And so we finally start, and we noticed he was wearing gray sweatpants last night. And we were like, oh, we're trying to look, but we don't want to look like we're looking.
Right, right, sure, yeah. It's kind of like
And
I
so,
get,
yeah, we were
yeah,
talking about it was that we don't think it's so much a size issue as it's the fact that
it's just the
gray
color, yeah.
has a weird wash sometimes.
Weird wash.
Like how like when you look at black, it appears solid, but
Right, right, right.
grays generally always have like a tonal, like almost like a speckling. I don't think that's the right like
The speckling, I like that.
but like there's portions like you can see there it's slightly like there's a little bit darker parts, a little bit lighter parts all together to make that gray color.
Right.
So I'm like, is it really just like, are we being deceived because of this has this like kind of pattern to give it that gray color?
Like like pleats or
Yes,
something. Like yeah,
yes.
like yeah, like it makes it.
Like it just accentuates curves in weird ways.
I like it. It works. Let's go with that. I think it's
That's
great.
kind of that's my working theory. So it's not a good one.
Nah,
You know, you like you
it
think of like
works.
those like heather grays, and they look like they have a texture.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I think just grays in general have that like kind of texture.
Especially those lighter grays. Yeah, like
Mhm.
your heather grays, feather grays maybe too. I think is that also a different type of gray that's similar.
Like, I mean, sure.
Let's go with yes. Anyway, yeah, they the shadows they
Yes.
play with your mind, your head.
Yeah, and
You
so
know.
that's when you play the game. Is it phone or is it
Those are some big pockets. It's going all over towards
I
center
mean,
field. Just saying. Well, I mean,
it
then
happens.
again, some men's pockets are pretty big, as
This one right.
we've already just established.
Almost too big.
Because then you're confusing.
Right.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
confusing everybody.
like damn, that dude's holding a banana in his pocket, or
He's got a giant phone.
yes, phone. That's what I was
It's a
thinking.
giant phone. And he
Giant
also has
round.
breakfast in there as well because he was running late and he just threw a banana into his pocket
Throw it in there next to his round phone.
next to his very rounded
Yeah.
phone. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they
Yeah.
do round out the edges. I mean,
Yeah, they do a little bit.
saying.
And now they're foldable, so who knows at this
Oh,
point? It could just be like
like
they could just like
slightly unfolded.
roll it up and then just shove it in their pocket. And
Yeah.
then all bets are off. It's like,
Yeah,
no one
bam.
knows at that
Stuck
point.
a can of Monster in his big old pocket
Oh
because
God. Just
men
energy
get to
drink.
have pockets like that.
But really, when you really start to question is when there's like three ripples, and it's like how many energy drinks could he be holding in
Well,
there?
yeah. See,
You never know.
the rabbit hole. I don't think we thought we were going down this evening.
No, I mean, this podcast alone is it's just
Yeah.
new to me. Just learning all kinds of stuff. Let's be honest.
You know, what is life if you don't always learn?
Not if you're not learning, you're dead.
I
That's when you
mean,
stop learning.
I got quite the education on slang for illegal substances
Oh yeah,
last week. Yeah.
yeah. There's quite a few of them.
Yep.
Of course, I learned many of them when I was working. But
I
I'm
mean, it
sure,
was all within the job because,
sure.
I'm talking to one of my coworkers who met with this patient and he's just throwing things that were like, hold on, we need you to clarify. What did
It's
you say? What
Urban
is that?
Dictionary. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. No. Oh. Okay. All right.
Yeah, nope.
Gotcha.
Yep, don't
Don't
need
don't
that in my search
don't.
history.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some fun ones out there.
Yeah.
Some fun
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're always learning.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Anyway,
now that you've
clear
given us the very vital update
update. Yes. Gray
about the
sweatpants
gray
update.
sweatpants,
Yeah. We can finally move
pick
on.
back up with Feyre and
Feyre
lotion.
and
Tamlin.
tampon.
Tampon. Dude, I can't
Okay. No.
like okay.
We gotta. We gotta.
I don't want to jump ahead,
Okay. Sure. No. At this point.
but
Look,
like,
there's gonna be some spoilers, people. There's gonna be some stuff. We're just gonna have to deal with it. Go read the book, come back and listen. But there might be some stuff.
well, and I've also started slowly consuming book two at this
Mhm.
point, and I was raging
People
at
don't. Yeah,
Tamlin.
I hear some stuff. Especially my wife tells me some that he makes some choice decisions that people just do not care for.
Yeah,
Which I am looking forward to hating this guy even more.
I mean,
I
I don't
can't
know
wait.
I will tell you by the end of this book, like I don't feel like this is like too spoilery, and like I think you're going to see it, and maybe I'll change my mind because we're doing this.
Yeah.
But after finishing this book, he's fine.
No, yeah, no. I mean,
Like,
admittedly, so yeah, it's
like
not.
he's not. I'm not in love with this man,
I over exaggerate. He's not a
but
terrible. Yeah.
he's just like he's not the worst guy in the world, but like he's certainly not the best.
Mm-mm. I think that's just a character in general. He's just kind of
Mhm.
bland. Yeah.
He really is. Like just
It's
he's
just
fine.
it's just
He's
feral.
mediocre.
He's so feral. Cat, would you stop? Hey, just
He
knocking
wants to
stuff
cast the
over.
pod as well.
What's that?
She wants to cast the pod.
Yes, come here.
Come cast. Give us your thoughts, your feelings.
Come on.
What are your thoughts on feeling?
She'll usually give me a meow. No, no, she's too busy rubbing on stuff. Anyway,
She's like,
maybe
pay
anyway.
attention to me.
Yes, yeah. She wants in my lap, but I am allergic to cats, so I prefer not to have a bunch of hair in my face. Anyway,
Oh, this is why her licking is an issue for you.
among other things, it's just annoying. But yeah,
I mean, she
I
did it to
am.
me, and I was just like, whatever. But I also have my own cat, so it
Mhm.
doesn't phase me too much.
She likes to, well, yeah, she likes to lick on me, like lick my skin. She likes to snuggle up, and it's not so much snuggling as much as just be as much in your personal space as physically possible.
So
You
you
know,
need to
that's
like get one of those like baby Bjorn and just like papoose her.
I've done that. She did not like it. We had
No,
it was when my big boy was my big guy um was young and I had it on and he like wasn't having it and so I like put her in it and
she
she was in
also
there she was in there for about like 10 seconds and then it was just like fuck this and just like
Miss Nova.
well,
We're not starting an OnlyFans. You need to put it away.
you-
Lower your tail.
this is a respectable podcast where we
Right, we're not paying for that kind of content over here.
no that's fans only stuff that's for later.
That's later. Oh,
Come on.
that's I like that. I like the belly. Let's
Oh yeah, yeah. The problem is she'll just she likes being pet like this, but she'll bite.
oh
It's
well,
like those love bites. Anyway, let's move
just
on.
teeth.
Just a little, just a little
Well, I mean,
tantling bite
it is on top. Yeah, I was to say it is on like
topic.
topic here
Yeah,
because the love bite comes up
yeah, it does.
not quickly enough.
No, no, it takes forever, and then
It
it's a
really
major
does.
letdown. No, no biting.
Honestly, I think the love bite was the best part,
Yeah.
at least for me.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there. All right,
We have thoughts. Let's talk now about chapter 14.
chapter 14. So,
Uh, we know that Farah is going to approach these certain woods and seek out the cereal.
yeah,
Cereal?
she's the surreal.
I kind of just want to call him cereal because I like cereal a lot, but
Yeah, but then
cereal.
I think Serial the podcast
Is that like
and
a
true crime.
sure? Surprised I haven't heard of it then. I'm not.
I am also surprised.
Well, I'm not into that as much as my wife is. So, but anyway. So
Yeah,
yes, cereal.
the surreal.
She's gonna find this fey creature because she wants some answers, and
Yes, because
presumably,
the trick that we learned about the surreal is that if you can catch one, it will give you answers to any questions that you have.
yep. So and
And
Lucian in the previous chapter kind of gave her a very detailed
run
uh, rundown of how to do it, and so she runs through the manor and gathers up all her stuff to do so, and she runs out to these woods, sets this very specific knot, and lays down a dead chicken
yeah.
and waits.
Well,
And
yeah, she gets behind a tree, up a tree,
up a tree or something.
near
Yeah,
a
I think it's like up a
tree.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she hides, pulling from her hunting days. Um, she waits patiently, and eventually, um, a creature shows up. I kind of just imagine it almost like a skeleton with a little bit of like flesh,
Yeah.
because they describe it as very bony. Um, and it's just like kind of grotesque looking. She describes it.
I mean,
Very
can we just like Lucian is hazing her.
yeah.
He is absolutely setting her up.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's like at this point he's kind of ambivalent about her in general about how his feelings about her, and it's just like You
Mm-hmm.
know what? She does it. Wow, cool, good for her. If she does it, she dies. Eh,
Right. Like
yeah,
it's
like mm, you know,
yeah, like he is so ambivalent about
yeah,
sending her off after this creature.
yeah.
This yeah, this fey creature, fairy
Hmm.
creature,
Dangerous creature.
um, that's dangerous.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like there are rules about like when you let it go, you have to run and cross water because it won't
Right.
cross
It
water.
won't cross water.
Like
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. But I mean, but at the same time, he's just like it's one of those things where you tell it's like you tell that person that you don't really care for too much to like, you know,
Hmm.
make a bad decision. It's like normally if it was like a good friend, you'd be like, look, this is a dumb idea, but you don't really care enough to say that about to this person. You're just like, yeah, sure, good luck, you know.
And yes, okay. Yeah. So okay, now that we've like because like I feel like we have to address the hazing
Solutions.
that is occurring. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's constant, just like, not almost berating her, but not quite like,
Mhm.
but trying to be like funny about it, kind of like half
Well, and
serious.
I think he just like at least in this with at my read on this the whole like him telling her like how she should go about catching the cereal is very much like if you die, you die. It solves my problem.
Hmm.
Um, if you don't, like, cool, like that's impressive. But like,
Hmm.
are you gonna be able to outrun it? So again, if you die, you die.
Yeah. I mean, he
Like,
does say that if you were to do this, I might be in the woods nearby and might be able to hear screaming if that were to happen, So
I might
he
be able to help you.
yes, yeah. So he definitely like puts out, you know, puts that out a little bit and tries to it's almost like a peace offering. Like, I don't really care what happens to you, but I will
Answer your questions.
yeah, I will answer your questions, and if you are seriously in danger and I can help you, then I might be able to.
But is he able to?
And well, as we find out, he is.
Not.
He is. He hears her. He
And
chooses
chooses
not
not
to.
to. Right. Yeah.
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 So yeah, she ends up dating, and we'll get to that here in just a second, because she
Yeah.
talks to this to Suriel, and she asks, it's like it's pissed because she trapped her, and it's actually kind of surprised, like, oh, a human or a human, however it's supposed to
Yeah.
sound, I
Because
don't know.
it's definitely like wheezing.
Yeah, it sounds
The
like it's like dying. Is what it's like. Its natural state is just constant state of
it
dying. Is
gives
how I
me
kind
like
of
sentient zombie.
yes, yeah. That's
Like
the yeah.
it still can think and have thoughts, but it
Hmm.
is like
Brink of death.
yes, one step away.
But
Like
still, yeah, or at least in looks, because it sounds like it can
yes.
move pretty quickly and like it's still. But this special knot keeps it in place, I guess,
Hmm.
because I feel like it
Hmm.
could just shatter this rope she has. But there's something about the knot, it's like
The
lore
way
stuff
it's
going on, so that's kind of
snared,
neat.
yeah.
The way it's snared, yeah.
Hmm.
But eventually she does start asking it questions, and she's like, I don't remember the specific questions, but she kind of was like wondering, like, how do I get out of this situation? And then the Surreal is like, you can't go home, like you're stuck here. But
Hmm.
then he also brings up, he's like, also you should probably stay nearby because if you leave, you are going to die, or something bad is going to happen. I don't know if he says you're going to die, but
Let's
um,
see. Yeah, like I'm trying to like, follow along with some of the conversation. Now,
yeah.
you read the surreal as male?
Um, well, again, audiobook. She definitely gives it
Hmm.
kind of like the way she makes it sound was, kind of more masculine.
Okay.
Um, but then again, it just sounded more like dying than anything else. So I don't know. As far as gender goes, I guess I didn't really think about it till now.
No,
But yeah,
I'm just asking because like I think my proclivity was to lean female.
yeah.
And I think maybe that's just because surreal, I don't know, there's something away about the way they talk about it that it made me think of like a siren. It made me think
Hmm.
of those more like feminine creature. but it's never actually like stated. Like it is truly like genderless. It is just this thing very much like the bogey
Right.
is genderless.
It's surreal. It's, it
Mhm.
is Fey, and that's kind of what it is.
That's it. But so she does. She's trying to get it to answer her questions, and basically, the surreal tells her that she has to be specific. So, like, you can't just ask me a question like, "What did she say here? What do you know about Tamlin?" And she's like, and the surreal responds with, "Be more specific."
Hmm.
I know a lot of things about the High Lord of the Spring Court.
Like
So,
all
what do you want to know?
knowing. It's all knowing.
It
I mean,
is.
it gives off that the air of just being like there is
It
nothing
is
that it
on.
doesn't.
It's
Omnipotent.
omnipotent.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's yeah.
How? I want to know. Like,
I see. Okay, see, this is where okay. I'm glad you brought that up because this is where my head canon's at. It's like it's not that it knows everything, but it isn't cognizant of its knowledge, right? So it's kind of like this thing like it doesn't know it
yeah,
until it's asked. So
yeah.
it knows everything, but it can't bring forth that
Actively know that it
information.
knows everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like
Oh,
it's like having memory of all this stuff, right? But you forget it, and then until someone's like, "Hey, remember that one time?" You're like, "Oh my God, I forgot all about that." Like that's how I think
surreal,
I'm gonna try to
surreal.
the surreal does it. It's more like it knows everything, but like none of it's in forethought, or it can't just recall any memory. It needs to be provoked. It needs to be asked. That's what I don't know. That's how I always kind of I imagine this interaction
Yeah,
with surreal.
it's
Yeah.
it's very unique for
Mhm.
like lore
Yeah.
because I'm like sitting here trying to like rack my brain and try and think of like, is there anything else that I've ever seen in folklore, mythology, fantasy,
Well,
like the surreal?
I want to say that uh there is like something like it, like where if you there's like the idea of like, oh, you trap the fairy and then the fairy will answer your questions, or or
That part, yes.
yeah, but
It's the
yeah,
how does it know everything and nothing?
yeah,
Because it like it says, it has to be very specific.
specific,
Like,
yeah.
which, so because Feyre, the 19-year-old illiterate
Hmm.
survivalist,
Sure, give her that.
survivalist,
Knows very little.
knows nothing
Oh, I mean,
about
understandably so.
anything.
Right, yeah, yeah.
um, the fact that the surreal calls Tamlin the High Lord of the Spring Court shakes her to her core. Like she is just like, hold on, what?
Who?
He's
The what?
he's the High Lord,
Huh? Come again?
right?
Yeah, yeah.
This beast who personally came to avenge his friend
Uh-huh. Who fed me my dinner?
and fed me, who
Fed
served
me,
me on my plate and fed
served
me
me.
is the High Lord.
Yeah, I thought that part was like it's like good, but I thought it really cheesy for some reason, and
Yeah.
I don't know why,
Well, because
because
it,
like
I think it's the way it's written. Is like the surreal says it just very offhanded, and
mm.
it's the earth tilted beneath me. Like she felt the earth move. They
Okay.
were really,
I mean, like
really.
maybe if it meant more to us, like yeah, they've been driving it in, like oh, there's the High Lords, and then there's like
Hmm.
and then the High Fae, and then it's like, but I don't think it carried any weight when she finally like brought it up, because like it's
I
like you
feel
don't
like it
really
kind of.
was that
I I feel like it was already kind of hinted at,
that yeah that he was something special, like
right? And it's
almost
just
like
like,
we knew. How did she not know? Maybe.
yes, I think
Yeah.
that's exactly.
It's like we put two and two together. Like okay, like everyone's at his like beck and call, and
Hmm.
yeah, like I
The
thought it was just some manor
unwavering
lord.
loyalty, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, I mean, yeah, I guess you would have that if he was just like head of the manor and stuff, but like, I don't know. It's
I think it would have landed a little bit better had we had we had more how known how important a High Lord was, I mean, we got a little bit, but like it's
Hmm.
really not. We're not really getting how significant these High Lords are or what they're capable of, and
Right,
also and also like for her not to have seen any to be floored by this, it's kind of
right.
like it should have been like, okay, yeah, okay, High Lord, okay, I guess I kind of saw it coming. That would have
Oh,
been more
okay, right.
believable.
Oh,
Yeah,
hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah, okay.
right, yeah, like that kind of reaction, like, oh, yeah, okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah, okay. I
Like,
kind of that makes sense. Like the way like honestly, it's like the way when like you're playing something and someone like a riddle and they tell you what the answer is to the riddle and you're like, "Oh, okay, I see it now."
right. You're like, oh, of course, that's what it is. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's obvious once you know
Hmm.
kind of thing. Yeah, but also just like continues to show just like how unreliable Feyre is as a narrator.
I go ahead.
Well, and just how little she knows of the world. Like she puts up this front, I think to herself probably more than anybody
Yeah.
in her narration that she knows more than she does.
Well, yeah. But yeah. And it's just she's very unreliable in even her own knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and like, and obviously that makes it hard as a reader to be like, okay, like, is any of this even gonna be worth, like, anything that we're being given, like being fed, is just like, is any of this gonna be like worthwhile or because she doesn't know half the time,
Mm-hmm.
which is part of the book. I did start to realize why I have such an issue with her age in this book, but well, some other time.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it just because I want to finish our thoughts here before we
Yeah,
dive
no.
into something else. But yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, he's revealed. The Suriel reveals that the High Lord Tamlin is the High Lord,
Right.
um,
So he's not just
not just the High
a
Fae.
petty fairy lord of a manor, but a high lord of one of the seven territories of Prithian. So he rules over the entire spring
Spring
court,
Court.
which again, so like I think it's really funny that then this kind of switches from her in trying to interrogate the Suriel to the Suriel kind of just sitting there outing
Toying.
off facts.
Right. Yes. The story. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know this was the spring court. And she's like,
You need to be
of
more specific, but here's a bunch of shit you didn't ask for.
right.
Like,
And like
uh,
it's teasing her, you didn't know this was the spring court. She's like, yes, I did.
of course I did.
No, you didn't.
Obviously.
Of
Yeah.
course I did.
Yeah, it
And
definitely like
then
takes a weird turn.
yes.
I do kind of like that though because it's also, you think Feyre has the upper hand, and very
Yeah.
quickly you learn like and it's pretty obvious because she has no idea what she's doing. But like very quickly, like the Suriel gains like this upper hand by like finding out how little she knows, which then turns again as we get to the end of the chapter. But anyway, what else does he go into? He tells her about the war that's going on, or well, their
So the Suriel shares all the different courts. So we
Mhm.
really finally get like all of the spring, summer, autumn, winter, dawn, day, and night. We learn that each is ruled by a high lord.
Mhm.
So all of the rulers are male. All of them are deadly in their own way. So they all have a unique gift. And we know Tamlin shapeshifts. So we
Right.
know that is unique to Tamlin.
Mhm.
And that the other six other high lords have their own special powers, which will come back up.
But yeah, yep, yep.
Um, and that they don't just have like a lot of power, but they just are pure power.
Whatever that means.
Right.
I hate when it's not and it's not just SJM. It's just whenever
In
fantasy
general,
in
yeah.
general. It's like, oh, they're just power. It's like, okay, all right,
The
sure,
Superman
okay,
trope.
yes. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like, well, he could do anything. It's like, okay, well, that's not fun. Like
Exactly. And that
retcon
is
anything in there. It's like, oh, he there's
he
farts,
flew around the
blast,
world,
tornadoes. Yeah,
flew around the world backwards
yeah.
and turned back time.
Turn back time. Yes, yeah. So, but yeah, she's just trying to build up Tamlin
Mm.
still and trying to give the idea that this guy is just so fucking powerful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah, there's information about the Suriel itself, basically being older than the High Lords, older than Prithian, and older than the bones of the world, and is a member of and no court, just exists within Prithian. Is, I mean, I feel like it's the ultimate backpacker.
Yeah. He's just like, I just gotta go where I please, or
I'm gonna ride
just
the rails and go where the wind blows me.
yeah, yep. So like, why is he there, and how does Lucian
Yeah,
know he's there? But yeah, it's whatever. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
he's the current MacGuffin of the story. It's fine. It's
yeah. It's fine. I'll go with it.
right. Yeah,
We
yeah,
need
yeah.
someone to drop this knowledge on her and on us.
Why not the surreal?
So,
Sure.
and I think it isn't like it's not a bad way to do it
No, it's fine. It
because,
was
like,
interesting. It's, for the most part, pretty interesting.
it was like because
Yeah.
it's a little bit different than just like her sitting here musing or reading a book. It's
Or what,
I have to catch this thing and
or what we've had in the past so far in this book, where she's just spouting things she learned in history class, or well,
yes.
or just learned from
Mm-hmm.
rantings of other people. Yeah, yeah. So I like the surreal. It's a neat you know a neat little turn of events.
Well, and then the serial gives her this very strong warning of stay with the High Lord. That's all you can do, and you will be safe.
Yeah.
Do not interfere. Do not look for any more answers after today. And then basically, if you do, you're going to get the attention of this shadow that is hanging over Prithian, and it will devour you.
So what are we gonna do?
So what are we gonna keep doing? We're gonna not
We're
listen.
gonna not listen. We're not gonna do that.
We're gonna not because we
We're
still can't trust you, even though we still believe you cannot lie, really.
we're gonna Harry Potter this shit and do what the fuck we want and skate by just
Who?
fine.
What?
Harry
Yep,
Potter. That's
we're
remember
gonna
his.
do that.
We're gonna do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumbledore do what? No, no, no.
He
Listen.
would never.
Yeah, it gets old. I mean, by this point in this book, we
Mm,
don't know that she's just not going to listen to anybody, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so she could everything would be perfectly fine if she just listened to somebody for once, which
she doesn't.
maybe kind of goes with the age thing. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
mean,
If at 19 years old, I probably wouldn't be listening to a whole lot of people either.
no, it's
Probably,
true. If
probably
you
did.
think you know better,
Yeah,
and she definitely does, being a provider for her family and stuff. Like
sure.
she definitely thinks she knows best.
Right.
Then we get some history about Hybern.
Right. We get a history lesson.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, a little bit more about the treaty, a throne of bones.
There was a king,
Yeah, yeah,
and
the
that
king of
kind of got
Hybern.
King of Hybern
100 years
is,
ago, he dispatched his most trusted and loyal commanders.
and so that was like the war they keep talking about, right? If I remember
Yes.
correctly, the king, I guess, lost, or was just,
Mm-hmm.
or it was just divided, and so the king is in Hybern, and then there's everywhere else, and
She,
everywhere. That's where the courts were divided into the rest of the land, right?
yeah, and like the wall is built
The
between the human and
humans,
the land. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
And
Um,
then everything. So we start to get to the what happened 50 years ago, which is like really important.
right.
When one of his commanders disobeyed him, the deceiver, and at that point, the Suriel stops, informs her we are not alone, and tells her to run.
Well, and to set it free.
Yes.
And
Free me
like
and
please
run.
free me, like let me
Yes.
go. And then this caught my attention because it was like surreal, totally on top of things,
Yeah.
showing its hand and being like having the upper hand, and then suddenly being like afraid.
Mhm.
Like
And
suddenly
it
being
is. It
like,
is like a.
yeah, which happens a lot in her book, which is neither take it or leave it, love it or hate it, but like there's often these very quick changes in
Mhm.
even with the Vogue. where it was just like Lucian was like totally like everything's good, and all of a sudden he's like, oh God,
It's
fucking
not.
freaking out. Yeah,
Yeah.
things are not. So
Well,
yeah,
and
it kind of shows like this interesting power struggle, right? Like how powerful things are, or like you
and
know,
the dangers in this world. Um,
how anyone survives is beyond me because like
really,
there's
yeah.
just constantly stuff going on in this book where it's like I thought we were safe here, but anyway.
Yeah. And so that's like, yeah, so the Suriel stops dead. We're not alone. Human, you must free me and run. Run for the High Lord's Manor. Do not forget what I told you. Stay with the High Lord. And then that is when the Suriel shares that 4 Naga
Hmm.
have appeared.
And they're
They are
do they start
shadowy
this?
figures.
Yeah, so like scaly. I don't remember how much they start sharing at this point, but I get
Well,
the
this is
idea
how
that
they
there's
end the chapter is that
okay.
literally she draws the knife that Lucian gave her. Fairies made of shadow, hate, and rot. They heard my scream and they smelled you. And so then, yeah, they beg, the Suriel begs for um
Freedom.
to be yeah, freedom to be released. And then the 4 shadowy figures slipped from behind the birch trees. And we are into chapter 15 then.
15. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately we've start learning more about the Naga or what they look like, I guess.
Covered in dark
Um
scales, combination of serpentine features and male humanoid bodies.
it's kind of traditional Naga, I would say,
Yeah.
from like other stuff. Except
Polished
that
black, flesh shredding talons. I love the flesh shredding
flesh
talons.
shreds. It doesn't sound like they have any like snake parts necessarily, or like
No.
they're like serpentine's parts, but still like hands, arms, legs, kind of a thing.
I mean,
Um,
speaking of Harry Potter, it is giving Voldemort. Very snake like in appearance, but still
yeah,
like a male human.
yep, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I also imagine like I imagine fins on them for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't know
mean,
why. I don't know if I don't think she actually says that. It's just that's
they
in my head.
don't, but like when you think dark scales and it does just give serpent, it gives almost
Yeah,
like sea creature, like the way they're described, the way they kind
yeah.
of move. Um,
So yeah, and Nagas are obviously, they're real mythology, if that is
mhm.
the appropriate way to say it. Like, it's not it's something she definitely is taken from somewhere else. Whoops. Let's
Right.
click around.
It's not something that she created, but is something that is within
She's using.
folklore and mythology. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at where it like originated from, and it looks like Wikipedia tells me Asian religious traditions, but um see things about Hinduism, Buddhism.
They are nasty.
These things, yeah, hers are pretty gnarly.
Just in general. I mean,
They're mean, they're rude.
I mean,
Oh, you just mean in general, Naga are pretty nasty in general.
based off of like all of the artwork that you can see
Hmm.
about like these creatures,
They're not pleasant looking, I would
of
say.
course.
Oh yeah, this is what I was looking at. Yeah, oh yeah, that one.
Like, look at her, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's
And but even like just like
hmm.
these, this is definitely like very snake.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
And I feel like they leaned more this way
Yeah,
in her.
yeah, definitely.
Like, I thought this was also like the 3 different ones here.
Oh, those are interesting.
So, like, very snake,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of snake,
Kind of, yeah.
nymph almost.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I
Yeah.
always whenever I hear like Naga, I always think my World of Warcraft days,
Yeah.
and they're just like these kind of it's very much like
That
Yeah,
is
more like
what I'm
that. Yes.
forever going to think, that D&D just
Yeah, like mainly, yeah, mainly snake with arms,
yeah,
basically. Like a snake
which
with
is
arms.
terrifying.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think snakes are cool. I like snakes, but
Oh,
like
I do not. No.
you don't care for snakes? No?
No.
No. I think they're
Things that can
awesome.
move without limbs, just,
Not okay. That's fair.
and also things that swallow
Things
everything
whole.
whole. Yeah, don't love that. Don't love it.
I think snakes are cool, but that's
I
everyone's,
mean,
sure. That's
there are
cool.
some neat things about them, like, but I'm not signing up to touch one.
Oh, they feel so good. They feel so cool.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
don't.
oh no, it's great. And they're like, it's not like a fish. Like I don't know if you've ever held a fish before.
No, I don't
Ever gone
touch fishes.
fishing? Well, no,
No.
you go fishing. You have to event at some point. You have to hold a fish. They're like slimy and scaly, and it's unpleasant. But like a snake is like maybe a bit oily, but for the most part, like it's very like they're almost dry feeling. Well, they are pretty neat. Anyway,
I mean,
my
I
thoughts. My
don't. It's not
thoughts.
my favorite place. Is the reptile house, but I will do
Ah,
it.
sure.
Like I will do it.
Okay.
But I also am not like a fan of like lizards either.
No, okay. Because
No,
you
because
like, wait. Dragons. You like
yeah,
some dragons. You
I
like
like a
some
dragon.
dragons.
Well, because a dragon's more of a dinosaur.
But a rept okay, so you're not cool with reptiles, not too cool with them.
And honestly,
Di
I think it's there is never going to be a time in my life where I am going to have to exist with a dragon or
Sure,
a
okay.
dinosaur. There is probably a snake in my backyard right now, and I don't want to find it.
I love this. Okay, so dragons there, in my head there's a spectrum of scaly things, right? And on one side
Fish to
there's like fish and
dragons.
snakes, and on the other side there's dragons, and like I guess you are somewhere outside this, or maybe you're just on
I
the
mean, I'll
side.
buy your spectrum, but the only part of the spectrum that I'm interested in
The dragons.
is the dragons and the
Dragons.
dinosaurs, the things that
Okay.
are not that
They're
something I'm
not
going to
allowed.
see run across my driveway.
What else, like a Komodo dragons? Those
Oh,
things are so
terrifying.
cool. What really? Oh, okay.
Terrifying.
But they're like the closest thing to a dragon.
Oh no, they are cool. But
Yeah, okay.
like
I mean, they are
they would
generally terrifying because
they
their
will eat
saliva
me.
is well. There's that they will eat
They
humans.
will
That
have
is
they have no qualms about eating me.
this is true, and they don't generally, but they will, and also their
Like, and I
bites
don't really
are.
like monitors either, and but I blame Disney for that one.
Yeah, Disney likes to villainize the snakes and the lizards.
I mean,
This
as
is
a
true.
very young child, I watched a lot of the Rescuers Down Under, and there's
Okay.
the one monitor lizard that is like the comedic relief, but is also like super villain
Yeah.
in her own little lizard way.
We are. I can't wait till we get to have an overall conversation about lizards, dragons, dinosaurs, and
It could be its own thing.
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, because there, and I think that that's my line. Can I
Drag.
run
Okay.
into it
Can
in
will
my
it?
everyday life?
Does it exist?
Also, fish are assholes, and so I hate all fish.
Okay. All right. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's legit.
I mean, tell me a fish that has a good personality.
Mm, I mean, Nemo's okay. He's pretty cool.
Animated fish don't count.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I like koi carp. Like,
No, no.
they can grow. There's something majestic about it.
I don't mind watching video of them
Okay.
swimming.
Sure. All right.
I did not hate feeding the koi fish at the 577 Foundation,
Okay.
but
That's
that's
it.
about my interest with them.
consuming fish is how would you
Oh,
feel
I'll
about
eat
that?
them,
Yeah, no, okay. I mean, that's obviously it's different, you know.
but mainly only as sushi. I don't do a lot of cooked fish. I'm still learning how to like cooked fish.
That's fair.
As a child that grew up on fish sticks, all it takes is one bad bellyache from a Gordon's
Oh, yeah,
fish
fish sticks are
stick.
like the worst.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, all right. So Naga.
Naga,
We have some
snake,
feelings about
snake
Naga.
people.
Yeah, we have some feelings about snakes in general. So,
We have some feelings.
they are creepy as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
that sums them up. And they are
Mhm.
and they seem to be pretty
Dangerous and
dangerous.
evil.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
pretty heinous stuff here. So,
Hmm.
um, and Feyre is
I mean,
and they're taunting her. They're like,
they're toying with
oh
her.
yeah, they're like, oh, we're gonna pick our teeth through your bones kind of deal, and like
Yeah.
we're gonna rip that flesh and,
Hmm.
and nom on it for a while and
Yeah, we're
stuff
gonna
like that.
creep closer. They creep closer and are just slowly kind of like, hey, we're gonna
Moving,
get you.
yeah. So yeah, very
Mhm.
very kind of creepy things.
Yeah.
She does she does eventually scream
Yep.
in hopes that Lucian will hear her,
Yes.
and she draws an arrow. And
She does let an arrow fly.
does she shoot the creature first, or does she shoot the snare? Because she does shoot the snare and freeze the Suriel.
Uh,
I don't remember in what order it goes, but or if she does.
she hits the Naga first.
Okay, so she shoots the Naga.
Yeah, so she shoots that. It topples back. She is not sure if it was a killing shot because that is when she screams.
Okay,
Yes. Um, yeah, was enough to reach Lucian. The only way was if he was where he promised he would be. And so that's when, yeah, she's running. Like she takes off running. Like she leaves the poor Surrey.
right. She's like
Oh no,
he just needed to be freed, and he books it. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he.
Yeah. So she frees him, then shoots one of the Naga and she takes off running
Mhm.
away from them, trying to find Lucian.
Not that it does much good because it looks like because these things are pretty fast.
They're fast and they catch her
Hmm.
so quick.
Like it wasn't even a thing.
It was nothing. Yeah, like
Yeah, and so but she does take off towards the water, even though she's
mhm.
like, it's probably not gonna do any good, but she tries. Um, they surround her pretty quickly, and what does she do? Does she like tries to fight one of them, or
She is absolutely just kind of what I absolutely picture is her just like flailing, trying
right,
to hit. She is trying to hit one of them because they're there and they're close, and so she is just throwing punches at whatever, hoping to land one.
right. Uh, and they're still like verbally just assaulting her with these
Oh yeah,
things that they're gonna do, and I think they eventually do start like
they have her like the one gets so close to her that she could feel his breath on her face,
toying it with her.
and then they take. I mean, they pay. She paints a picture here about the reek of carrion
Oh, right.
and that she's gagging while this thing is taunting her about how they're going to cut her up so fine that there won't be anything for the crows to pick at. And yeah, then she's angry,
And she gets, yeah,
grabs the knife in her boot, and she cuts it
attempts.
right into the neck. She's just in it goes, and blood covering herself in its blood.
I mean, good for her. She managed to
I
do
mean, good
that.
job. I
Like,
mean, it is
why
impressive.
why it works? Because it seems like every Fae is just a complete badass, but for some reason this one,
Well, it's very obvious that like they they because they refer to her as scrawny. Like
hmm,
they are absolutely underestimating her abilities.
okay,
And I think they're just like, oh, this will be easy.
right.
Like we caught her really fast. Like she's not gonna, like they're not expecting her to be the survivor that she is.
Yeah.
So the biggest mistake they made was they underestimated Feyre, and so she was then able to stab the one in the neck.
And then they slam her to the ground, I think,
Yep.
and then it looks like things are gonna go black, and then
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then
Holding me straight. Yeah. So then all of a sudden, um,
like a roar, or hears something in the
yeah, he wiggled his
distance.
talons deep. Yeah, so they're like getting ready to basically we're gonna tear her apart.
Yeah, they're gonna
And then she hears something, a roar, a bone shattering roar, and she realizes it didn't come from the Naga in front of her, but it came from Tamlin.
mhm.
And he starts tearing them up.
He
But
does
he's
he
not
does
in his beast form. He's wearing his mask and everything. So human Tamlin
human
just
Tamlin.
starts tearing them apart.
Hmm. Does
And
he?
she just stays low. She's just like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
stay here. I'm out.
Yeah, no, like okay, cool, just gonna be right here.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
he kills. I don't know. He messes up a couple of them, but I believe some of them run away because the
Um,
next chapter he ends up talking about going back to find the rest of the Naga.
so I kept low to the ground. He let out another roar, made the marrow of my bones go cold. Let's see. Yeah, so there was one that he gutted, just like
Disemboweled.
nothing. Yeah. And then one got away.
Okay, so the one does
So
get
of
away.
the four, Feyre has killed two of them.
We don't. I don't know that
We
it's.
have a confirmed kill and a potential kill from Feyre.
But okay, but oh, you got oh.
What just happened?
All right,
I
yeah.
don't know what did that.
Confirmed kill. Part time. Woo! Just okay. Pop balloons. Set them out.
I
All
don't
right.
even know what triggered that. Like I'm on
No,
do
it's
not
cool.
disturb. I don't know.
It's cool. It's cool. No, that
Oh,
was
I'm
perfect.
crying.
It was perfect.
So, yay for
Anyway.
Feyre.
Yay, she did something.
She did something.
Hooray.
She killed a Naga.
Which I'm not convinced because it's the Naga is Fey. It was not a Ashwood dagger.
I I think we can absolutely go with the fact that she stabbed the one in the neck to the point that it died. Like
Okay. All right.
it's in
Okay.
the text. Like it is
It is there.
heavily
It is there.
implied.
All right. Okay.
I will give you that the arrow one she may not have.
Right.
Um,
But the one,
but she stabbed the one in the neck and it's dead.
okay. All right. It's fine. I
And
mean,
it almost ended
there were
her.
balloons. There were balloons. So, but it had to have
Oh,
happened.
problem is I'm like
um,
thinking I'm gonna cut that out, but now I'm like I feel like I can't.
no, no, do not, don't do that. You gotta leave it in. You gotta leave it
It
there.
just broke us for a
Yeah, that's fine.
minute and a half there, so it's
It's
fine.
worth, totally worth.
Entertaining.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
professional.
Hey, no one said anything about being professional. All right.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah, okay. So Tamlin takes care of him,
Yep.
puts most of them, puts whatever's left down except for one, which runs away. He comes back to attend to her injuries. She smells the ting of magic in her nose, and her
Yeah.
injuries kind of fade away.
Yep.
Tamlin's like, "What the fuck you doing here?" He's probably pissed. I can't remember exactly, but knowing
Oh
Tamlin, he's
no.
probably
So
upset.
she did kill two.
It does say in there she killed two.
Yeah.
He,
So I found one dead half a mile away.
oh,
So she did kill the one with the arrow.
okay.
She
Uh,
stabbed the one in the neck.
that does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. I find this conflicting. This is This is a I don't know, what do you call those things in the book when it's you know.
Well, but so Tamlin's the one talking to her, and
Yes.
it was one of his arrows,
One of
Tamlin's. So it's from his.
Oh.
Because it's fairy made.
So you think because it's fairy made and because the dagger was from Lucian that maybe
Yeah,
that's why it was okay?
yeah.
All right, fine. Fine. Fine.
The only thing I can think of,
Yeah, I agree with you. I just
it's a bit of a cop out.
it is, but I'm glad that we you caught that because I
Mhm.
when they talk about like the war and everything later and stuff, and it's like, well, how are they killing each other if the only thing that kills them is like these trees that they supposedly got rid of.
Right.
So obviously, like there's more going on than
Hmm.
we're privy to, so that's cool. So
Yeah.
that maybe actually makes you feel a bit better in the long run. That maybe they're not as
So yeah, she killed two, and
resistant.
Tamlin killed two.
Okay. No, wait, he only killed one.
Nope, he killed two. I was just rechecking.
But then like, didn't one of
The
them get
one
away?
that the one that ran, he
He
just
get,
it did not get far before
got you.
he
Okay.
got him.
That's that okay, gotcha.
Because he was full feral animal.
Right. He was very, very feral.
Yeah, very
Uh
feral.
so yeah, so that happens. They get back
Yep.
to um
And then he's asking her, "What are you doing out here?" Um,
she makes something up. She doesn't mention the cereal, I don't think, or she
she
does
doesn't say
mention it.
anything. She just goes, "I just thought I wasn't confined to the house in the garden. Didn't realize I'd come so far."
And then lying. Liar.
Yeah. Well, and he's just like he accepts her nonsense.
Yeah, he knows something. He
He
realizes
knows
something's
something's
up,
up, but like
but
he's
he's
like, I'm gonna trust
fine.
what you're telling me and just say that if I'm getting called away to deal with trouble, you have to stay close to the house.
Yeah,
Like, that's it.
yeah.
Hmm.
So she thanks him, says,
They
"All right,
go
thank you for
home.
saving me." And
Yeah,
they,
let's go home.
mm-hmm.
And she's
Uh,
still like just pondering over everything that the surreal had told her, mainly the stay with the High Lord.
and then we move into chapter 16,
Yep, chapter
which I
16.
remember nothing about. So I'm
Because I
gonna look
think
over these
there's
notes real quick.
Yeah, but I don't think there was
Oh,
really anything because it's literally they're back at the house. She's getting a bath. Like Alice
yeah.
brings her molten chocolate. She brings her hot chocolate.
Yeah, no, molten chocolate sounds way better. I imagine it's just a
It's
like
just a
mug
melted
of
chocolate bar.
yeah.
It's pure chocolate.
That's what I want. It's like, is this milk chocolate? Oh hell no! It's just that's just molten. That's just lava chocolate. You just like
It's
it's
like just
thick.
literally it's the center of a lava cake
Yeah, yeah.
and
It's
you're
just
just
so thick. You're just
drinking it.
choking on it, drinking, but it's so good. You're just like, oh, just like
Well,
that's how I
it does
imagine it.
say that she refused to do anything until she had a few sips of it. So
Right? Yeah.
Alice was momming her.
Yeah, and then I think Alice at one point is like, if you're gonna go see the cereal, you could have just offered it a new cloak and it would have gone a lot better. Or like
Right.
a new shawl. She's like, whoever told you to get a chicken was goading you a little bit. I think she
Yes.
because
Yeah,
yeah,
no, because Alice is like, I knew exactly what you were doing.
yeah. Oh yes, because she's like, yeah, you did this, this, and this, and she's like,
Hmm.
you went to go see a cereal. She's like, and look, you fucked like you could have done it a little bit better.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I do
because
remember that part.
yeah, well, and there's also like they're talking about like so she's asking Alice about Highburn and will there be a war and you know all of these kind of things and the blight that poisons the land and so they're talking and then she go that's when Alice then calls her out and is like, you think no one would tell me what you asked the kitchen to give you today?
Mhm.
You
Uh,
foolish stupid girl.
yeah, yep. More demeaning, more demeaning talk towards Feyre because
Well,
can't be.
okay, you know what,
She
I
deserves
am
it a little bit.
I'm on Alice's side right here because
Yeah,
this, and I'm going to quote Alice directly because she goes, because her eyes were hard and unforgiving. So Alice has been around the block. She's like, I have raised children smarter than you.
yeah.
And she's because that's what I just picture Alice as, just like this mother, like she's like like she's in like a Mary Poppins, like
Yeah, like a
a
hardened Mary Poppins,
a
like
hardened
yeah, like,
a nanny McPhee, just like she has
okay.
seen it.
Uh-huh.
You are not getting anything over on Alice.
She's like, nice try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where she goes. You think no one would tell me what you asked the kitchen to give you today, or realize what you went to trap? You foolish, stupid girl. Had the cereal not been in a benevolent mood, you would have deserved the death it gave you. I don't know what's worse, this or your idiocy with the puka.
Oh, man. Burn.
Called out.
Yeah. Dude, Alice is a good one. I like Alice. Yeah.
And then that's when, like, and she does try to defend herself. Like, would you have done anything differently if you had a family? And Alice is like, I do.
Yeah.
I do
She's like,
have a
I do have a
family.
family. And we
Hmm.
find out, and I think this is when we find out she's actually here.
She
No,
has
not her,
two
not her two
nephews
nephews, right? Not
that
her
she is
children.
raising. Yep.
Yep. And that there's
Mhm.
somewhere else to be safe or something. And she is
Yeah.
here, and she's here so that to give them safety. She doesn't really describe or go into detail, but other than that,
No, but we know that she's raising her sister's children.
because her sister
Um,
did something stupid, I think she says, or
something happened, yeah, to her sister. And then we also learned that fairies do age differently
hmm
than humans because she says that she's raising these children, um, and the parents were killed 50 years ago. And Faye was like, hold on, they can't be like boys as you describe them if their parents were killed 50 years ago. And that's when it's like
yeah, things are a little
some
different in the
age
fairy
like
world.
humans, some like her and like the high fae rarely have children and age quite slower.
Do you ever get the feeling that like reading this lore and that like SJM was just basically there's just like an infinite number of different fae? Like it's just
Yeah.
like this. I keep like as we like learn more about this, I'm like, she's kind of writing this lore where there's just no limit to the different types, species, genus of like of fairy. You know what I mean?
I
That's the
mean,
what's the
it's like
idea I
her,
get?
it's kind of okay. I see it like the fact that it's just like this is the Deus Ex Machina of her book. It's Faye.
Yeah, it
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 just
very much is. It's like,
it's
oh,
just Faye.
how did this happen? It's
It's
Faye.
Faye.
It's Faye.
It's Faye.
I mean, what do you
That's it.
mean? What do you mean it's Faye?
It's
Duh.
Faye. Right. Because she talks, and I also am getting like uh, a little Star Wars here and like Yoda because they say that the oldest won't even reach adulthood until he's 75. So
Right.
75 years of childhood.
Yeah, that's a lot of childhood, man.
Right. But that makes me then think of like the Mandalorian and
Yoda,
little Grogu being
which
over
I've not
50.
seen, but
Okay. But like
yeah,
we know he's over 50 years old and he's an infant.
yeah. Yeah, it's I, I think it's a neat. I mean, it's neat. It's lore,
It
world
is.
building and stuff like that. It's fun.
It, it absolutely like we are. I mean, I think we're definitely like we're making fun of it. We're laughing at the fact
Yeah,
that it's just like everything goes fall to Faye, but like that is part of like kind of the charm is that there's just stuff about fantasy and these things that like you don't need a reason.
right. I do usually hope that these writers, when they do these kinds of things, they do have some at least some headcanon, some idea of like what is out there, what
Right.
magic like what kind of magic exists, what kind of creatures and species are out there, before without just saying like well, there's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like without
That's
just
great.
saying, yeah, without just saying that, like, oh, there's all so many different kinds, and then later coming up with whatever they want. I'm sure there is some amount of that in all writing, and
Hmm.
even that SJM is doing. But I just hope that
Yeah.
she's got something in mind before she's just like throwing things out like that, like, oh,
Right.
we all age differently, and we all have different powers, and
Well, and it could
yeah,
just be one of those like again, like we make kind of make fun of it a little bit, but it's just like I know it's going to be because they're fairy, but I haven't quite worked it all out yet,
yeah, which is that's cool. I'm
which
cool with
is
that.
fine too because
Yeah.
this is hard.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. The
You know,
lore
it's hard to
building,
build and lore build and stuff. So,
Making a
Uh,
connective, like the connective tissue of fantasy, making that
mhm.
work has got to be difficult. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
um,
So,
yeah.
and then
Anyway,
yeah, Alice,
Alice.
she calls out that fool Lucian. Should he ever give
I
you
feel like
advice on
there's
this
like this
again?
this fun tension between them that they never. I don't think they ever actually have interaction together throughout the
I don't
entire
think we
book, do
ever see it. I don't think we
they?
ever see them together.
Which is kind of great. I gotta
But
say,
I
like,
love, I do. Like, this is just where I'm like, this, she's like, that boy, man.
yeah, that boy's trouble.
That boy's
That
right.
boy's
And
trouble.
that's when she, tells her, yeah, if he ever gives you advice, please
Come to me
come talk to
first.
me
Yeah.
first. And then she leaves her with the dead chickens, my ass, my sagging ass.
Is that what she says?
He
I
says,
don't.
dead chickens, my sagging ass. I love Alice in this moment. Lucian,
Uh,
best character.
yeah.
Alice, second best.
Follow up. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I
Third
agree.
best, mercenary.
Mercenary.
From
Unnamed
all those
mercenary.
chapters
Un-
ago. And then I'll give you Nesta, Feyre.
There you go. Yep. Okay.
There's
That's
our
it.
top
That's
five.
that.
Yeah.
No, done. I thought that would be hard to do. That was much easier. You
That was
nailed it.
really easy. That
That
was
was
our top
really
five.
easy. And then
Uh,
whoever's at the bottom, just put Tamlin at the bottom.
well, yeah, he's always at the bottom.
Yeah, poor Tamlin. We hate on him
He's
so much.
fine. He's fine.
It's okay. He's just a boring character.
He's just this. Like
He's
there's just
middling.
this. He's
Yeah,
not anything.
and maybe that changes in other books. Well, anyway, we'll get to
It
that.
could change in other books, but as of like everything that we are seeing
Not so
so
much.
far and to come, he's very much just kind of
Yeah,
that's it. She goes and has dinner
with Lucian
with
and
Lucian and
Tamlin,
Tamlin.
and there's
Mm-hmm.
some awkwardness between her and Lucian.
Yep.
Um, and she brings up, oh, he mentions how she's looking, and she says, "I didn't think Faye could lie," and then they chuckle and they say, "We very
Yep.
much can." And she's suddenly floored again, or taken aback by how, oh, of course, like how did I not see, or
This is a funny like earth shattering like I just see the glass shattering moment in her head because he's like you look lovely regardless of your hell sent afternoon. And she's like, I've never looked lovely a day in my life. Just stop. And then that's when she says, I thought fairies couldn't lie. And Tamlin chokes. She choked him. And he's like, Who told you that? And she's like, Well, everybody knows. Like, duh.
Mhm. And then
uh,
it's just like, yeah, and you're wrong again.
yeah,
And
of course we can.
at what point does she stop believing the stuff that she thinks she knows? You know what I mean? I would have figured by this point I would have been like, okay, I throw everything I thought I knew and just start over. You know what
I
I mean?
feel like if if you hadn't already, I feel like once you hit the moment with the surreal,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that has to be like the moment you change your
Mm-hmm.
thought process on this versus like, hold on, excuse me.
Right, yeah.
Oh, you
One more
you
time.
guys started this rumor about yourselves that you couldn't lie so humans would trust us. And then she's like starts asking him about, does iron
And they're like,
doesn't
nope.
do us a lick of harm. Nope.
No, no.
Nothing. Only ash.
Only Ash. So that one's real, which we
Mm,
know because
yep. Yes. And so then she's like, again, she's grasping on this. I'm going to escape things. And she's like, well, maybe the Suriel was lying to me.
right.
Maybe I don't need to stay with the High Lord. Like,
Yeah. Back to square one, which I really upset me when reading that, which will regularly upsets me when she keeps coming back to it because it's like
just
we need to grow in this book. We need
mhm.
to evolve. Like, okay, we get it, Feyre. You're like, let's go. Like, Lucian ends up excusing himself,
Yeah. So like,
leaving
yeah, he
the
excused
Feyre.
himself before dessert. I was left alone with the most dangerous being I'd ever encountered.
Hmm.
And then they're having like their weird, awkward conversation.
Oh, this is
And they
when.
they
Okay.
talk about the Naga.
Hmm. Okay.
And what were you doing out in the Western woods? Truth or lie? Truth or lie? Truth or lie? And then that's when she's like, I heard a legend once about a creature.
A surreal that could answer. Yeah, and she evades anything. I don't know. Does he ever figure out that like she doesn't implicate Lucian, but does Tamlin
Um,
ever figure out? I don't think he does. I think he might have an idea, but it's just kind of like, you know what, whatever.
yeah, I don't think it comes up because yeah, she's just kind of reiterating some of the stuff. She's definitely again dancing around the truth
Yeah.
a little bit. I mean, he's very impressed at her for actually being able to snare the surreal.
Hmm.
Dance, talking a little bit about he found her list of words.
Yeah. Okay. The
And
crumpled
so
list of
that's
words she threw away, and he
yep.
thinks he thinks it's a poem
He jokes, yeah, is this a poem
about
about murdering me and
murdering
then
me.
burning my body?
Yeah. Like conflagration or something like that.
Yes.
Conflagration, whatever the word is.
Unusual cue slang conflagration.
Like,
And she's
yeah.
like, I wanted to die. She's just like, and then then she's like, I'm out. Like, good night, I'm
Yeah,
leaving.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he tries to
And
be
then,
like, I know he like tries to like smooth it over like he wasn't trying to be mean, but
right. Yeah, like he's like, this is when she like they are like bonding here. Like they're
right.
actually getting to know each other a little bit, talking about like her family, how much she loves her family. Um, and then like that's when it kind of comes out that, I think he's figured it out that she would need his help to write them a letter.
Yes. And
And
he
he's telling her that he will help her. And of course she immediately jumps to like, oh, you're just making fun of me.
yeah,
And he's like, I'm not
I'm
trying
not sure.
to,
She
like,
just refuses to
mhm.
accept anything from anyone unless it's
I don't
Lucian.
need your
And
help.
yeah, even though I just went to Lucian about the stupidest fucking thing I could do, and I
Yep.
did it, but I don't need your help
Right.
writing a letter.
Well, and
I
he
guess,
definitely teases her a little bit. And I like that he does because he
yeah,
goes, well, obviously you don't need my help because you took down a fairy in a wolf's skin, you captured a surreal, and then killed two Naga.
yeah, let her know she's capable.
Yeah. She absolutely, like, he is building her confidence because she has zero.
Yeah,
And like, he's acknowledging like how much like she gave up for them. And then he's like, do you even know how to laugh? Like, can you have a good time?
hmm,
Which she can't. Like she's not capable.
no,
Um, and then more about can they be friends? We learn about Tamlin being a child
how he
at the
was,
time of the war.
yeah, he's in a
Um,
war band. I think we learned that
mhm.
too.
Yeah, and then like about glamoring the memories and
Right.
stuff.
So we learned about like glamoring, which is like, which I don't know if we've actually talked about glamoring, which is like
No,
basically like illusions, like casting illusions
yeah,
over somebody to make them see, believe different things. And he kind of
yeah. Like
just,
they
he
say they
just,
glamored their memories. It was like putting a veil over them.
right.
So
Basically, her family thinks
yeah,
somebody died, or no, she's taking care of a rich sickly aunt that they didn't realize they had, and sending them
yes.
money, and so the Tamlin like gave them a manor, which I think they talk about all this, gives them like a manor, a place to
Mhm.
live.
Yeah, they know you're safe. They have no
They know
memory
you're,
of a beast bursting into the cottage.
yep. They know that
Yeah.
if there is
So
anything
like,
dangerous, to get the hell out of there. Like
right.
they're
Like,
cared for, they're satisfied, they're actually better off without you.
yeah.
Reiterating all that, which he's been trying to do.
So I think at this point, like I think she finally is like accepting that they're safe because basically then he asks her, is there anything, that you would want?
Yeah. And
And
she
that's
finally says
she
there
wants to
is.
paint.
She wants to paint. She says painting supplies.
Hmm.
He says, okay.
Yeah. And then that's when, he's like, oh, okay, you like to paint. And that's, I'm not good, but if it's too much trouble, you don't have like little Midwestern girl.
Mhm.
If it's too much trouble, you don't have to do
You don't
it.
have to do it.
And then I can just paint outside. I don't want to make a mess. And he's like, outside, inside, on the roof, paint wherever you want. I don't care. But if you need paint and brushes, you'll also need paper and canvas. And then she's like, I can work to pay for it all.
That's
And
so, oh, that's cute.
It's really
It's,
cute. Like
no, I
she's
mean
like,
like they finally have this interaction together, and it's like two like a boy and girl meeting in the schoolyard for the first
it's a
time,
little,
like
it
kind of
is
a
like a
thing.
little meet cute. Like they've
Yeah.
been kind of eyeing each other, and now they're actually like having like this honest moment,
Mm-hmm.
learning about each other. I like that he's just like, you'd be a hindrance in the kitchen. Just don't worry about it. um, and she does thank him,
Mm-hmm.
truly thanks him. And then he goes, have you asked her if he's seen the gallery? She's like, there's a gallery.
Does he take her
And
up this chapter, or is that a different chapter?
I'm busy tomorrow and the gallery needs to be cleaned up. So the next day. So they make their
Gotcha.
plans that they're going to go look at the gallery together, and he's going to track down all of her the paint and supplies that she needs. And then that was it. I
And the
mean,
in the
that's
notes
kind of
here
it
in the
ends.
notes here
Yeah,
it says Tamlin smiles at her and she compares her feelings for him to her feelings
for
for
Isaac.
Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac had never
Okay, look.
smiled at me like that.
All right, is there any talk of his muscles?
Nope.
No, not one iota of just commenting
No.
on bulging
Nope.
corded muscle,
Nope.
rolled up sleeves.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm
Nope.
surprised.
No,
She's keeping
it's
herself decent.
dude, it is like thirst levels one.
Yeah, no, it dropped. It's going back down
It's
now. It's like they're finally
um,
like action could potentially happen, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of good. I'm dry right now."
yeah.
Just
I would like that very much, she says. And, he smiled at me broadly without restraint or hesitation. And then,
just
yes,
feelings about same feelings for Isaac
Isaac
kind of
had
thing.
never made my breath catch just a little
Yeah.
bit. And the feeling was startling enough that I walked out, grasping the crumpled paper in my pocket, as if doing so could somehow keep the answering smile from tugging on my lips. So
Oh,
she is
okay. All
like,
right. There we
okay.
go. All right. Never mind. Put it back up there. Put the
No, no.
thirst
It's
meter.
it's
Just
still
so.
gonna no, it's a
Just,
one.
all right. Fine.
One and a
No.
half. We'll split the difference.
Take it down.
One
No.
and a half.
Lower. Yeah. Right there. Okay. We got it. We got the thirst meter where it's supposed to
We
be.
need to come up with a graphic.
I kind of like it better if it's just me
It's
idly
just over
pointing to
here.
nothing. There's literally nothing
Nothing.
over there. There's a lamp, a door. That's what I'm gesturing. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you, lamp.
Take it down a notch.
Take it down. Take it down.
So that is where we end chapter 16. And I think
Yeah,
that'll be where we'll call it.
yeah. Because
Well,
17 would be a good one to start on. It's a fun
yes.
one.
It
Yeah,
is fun. Yeah, we're gonna
yeah,
start. It's been a slog, guys. It's
yeah.
been a slog. But we're
Thank
getting
you.
there.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Yes.
Getting it.
We're gonna get
Doing
through
it.
it.
Yes.
We want your thoughts.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stuff is coming
Mm-hmm.
in the next few chapters. So
Comment, like, subscribe, stuff like that.
do all of the things.
Helps us out. Yeah.
Start chapter 17, and we'll do probably 17, 18, 19 at least
Hopefully. Yeah.
in the next episode.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Amanda, thank you.
thank you, Ben.
Very
Thank you, Miss
welcome.
Nova, if you're still
She's sleeping on my jacket.
oh good. She's resting. She needs to.
I would pick her up, but then she'll start licking me.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time.